I went into the military in 1964, and that's an interesting story in itself because the Air Force had the Aviation Cadet Program. And the Aviation Cadet Program was a program where you had 2 years of college, and then they took you in and you learned to be a pilot, and you also learned to be an officer at the same time. So that was my whole goal. That was my target. So I graduated from high school in 1961, went to Western for 2.5 years, and ready to go into the aviation program, talking to the Air Force recruiter. And it was fall of 1963 that I was ready to jump into this program. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, the program was canceled last fall." You talk about a ship without a rudder. That was me. I had no clue. Absolutely lost. What was I going to do? So I did not register for winter quarter at Western, and then I got this note in the mail: "Uncle Sam wants you." And I went to the Air Force recruiter and I said, "You get me in yesterday." He says, "Okay, I think I can do that." And so the next day, the very next evening, I was on a bus from Bellingham to Seattle to the induction center, and that's when I enlisted in the Air Force. It was in 1964, January 9th, 1964. And my first assignment was basic training in Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. And coming out of Lackland, I went to Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi. And they take you in and they give you a bunch of tests, and the aptitudes that I had led me to I was going to be an intercept operator. Well, an intercept operator is where somebody sits with headphones on, listening to stuff and typing what he hears out on a typewriter. And so I went through that school. That was started in February of '64. I graduated out of that class in June of '64 with surprise in that they needed teletype operators, not intercept operators. So I went to Offutt Air Force Base then. From there in Keesler, I was assigned to Offutt, which is SAC headquarters, and I learned to be a teletype operator working in the SAC Comm Center. And that was interesting and fun. And of course, we were right there at SAC. I mean, Strategic Air Command headquarters with the underground and everything. Part of my code for my skill set said that I could be working in that underground, but others went there, and I did not have to go do that. So I worked in the comm center. I was actually in the comm center in 1964 when the Gulf of Tonkin incident happened. And of course, we were very busy during that time. And so that's, I was there from June of '64 to April of '65. And during that time, the Air Force also had a program of allowing you to go to school. So I enrolled in Omaha University. And so I got to go to classes at Omaha University just to keep my hand in that. And then I applied for a program that I discovered called the Airman's Education and Commissioning Program. Airman's Education and Commissioning Program was a program where if you had 2 years of college, Air Force would put you back to college to get your 4-year degree in whatever their needs were. Well, they needed mechanical engineers, so my assignment, or I actually got accepted into that program. I'll never forget the day I got the letter from Arizona State University that said, "You've been enrolled and you have to be there on the 10th of May of 1965. And there I was. I was in the Air Force enlisted man, promoted directly to staff sergeant getting paid as a staff sergeant and getting subsistence to live in an apartment and go to school full time. That was my job, school full time. And so the program was a 27-month program, and as it turned out, I got a 4 years of college in 27 months. So that was my experience with getting to the point of going to officer training. And so I came out of Arizona State University with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, with a directed duty assignment to Vandenberg Air Force Base when I graduated from officer training school. So that got me to that point.